Yeah, you're handing victory to them. You're literally giving away your freedoms. They'll take all your assets too. And then you further the us and them societies of Latin America. You have a few people who are rich and everyone else is poor. And so they take your assets and only the politicians get rich, and you've lost your freedoms and your money. That's happening all over the world. So they should pay attention. First of all, wake up. How about read? Like, young people today need to read. Get off the goddamn phone and the social media and understand what's happening. I talk to people about politics all the time. I'm very animated by politics. They have no clue. And it's out there. But you can't just get your daily feed from CNN or MSNBC or Fox or anybody. Just like, you have to do the work. They're very happy to manipulate you. And then coinciding with everybody getting high all day, like, they're not tuned in. And I think that young people have to seriously tune in. So there's some big forces going on right now. Well, look at Argentina now in this revolution of Milei. Will he make it perfectly the way he's described? We don't know. But his very philosophical speech at the World Economic Forum, which in general would not be supporting his points of view, which is anti-socialism and anti-communism, is exactly about freedom. And Argentina is effectively a failed country. You know, the currency went from 1 to 1 to 950 to 1. So it's really not functioning as a society anymore. It's a society maybe, but not as an economy. And he points out the horrors that they've lived with. And you've just completely empowered the state at the expense of personal freedoms on the street. So he's done an amazing job of rallying young people. And I credit some good parts of social media, the former Twitter, X. He had 400 million followers in his first interview with Tucker Carlson on X. That's amazing. I didn't know 400 million people had any view on Argentina at all. That tells you what a movement that's becoming, and so people need to pay attention. Leadership for that sort of discussion would be nice if it came from the top, but I think that today's politicians are not inspirational politicians. You look at the U.S. president; does he really know what day it is? I mean, you're not going to get inspirational stuff, and it's a very decentralized need anyway, right? And so if you can get people buying into these basic ideas and then letting that spread. It sort of happened in the 70s. Like, America felt horrible. And then we had the feckless Jimmy Carter, who I thought would be the worst president ever, but now he's been replaced. And it felt horrible in the United States. And then Reagan came around with real philosophy like Milei. And then my liberal friends would go, oh my God, well, he had a real philosophy, and he actually created a real tax base in 1986, tax reform of 86. And that allowed America to boom and become the economic marvel that it is. So you could have that. People in college, back then I was in college, were doing their obligatory tour through, left liberalism. And 4 years later, they're wearing preppy ties and going to Reagan parties. So we need to change the trajectory of the ship and to demonstrate to young people that they're just chasing butterflies, living in the woke deranged syndrome, to the road to nowhere. And we could actually fix problems of the world, green energy, new forms of energy, and so on, if the governments could just get out of the way and let the private sector do its thing. But when they're hiring all the people to work for the government, it's a one-way train wreck. It does not end well.